Hey, so I was having some technical difficulties. Yeah, I just went on ahead and went live on the phone instead. I'm thirsty. So I think I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure it's some Kool-Aid. Pour this and put Kool-Aid. So, hopefully we can get this live to the people that it needs to get to. And I'm just gonna play this news clip where they're talking about this teen is going to be charged as an adult in the Southeast Raleigh High School poking. His name is Taekwon General. He's 15. I think he was 14, from what I've gathered. He was accused of poking up another student, and I'm gonna go ahead and play the news clip. I was gonna do live studio, but for some reason it was going over my scheduled event time, and I just could not anymore. So while we try to see if the general family is gonna be able to get their advocate who's gonna do this interview up, we're just gonna play the news clip so that you guys can get a little bit of backstory. There's also a video on my page if you want to take some time to go look at that.
Today, prosecutors will charge the suspect accused of stabbing his classmate to death at Southeast Raleigh High School as an adult.
Taekwon General Jr. was just 14 years old when police say he stabbed Devin Farrell during a fight in November. WRAL's Destiny Patterson is joining us live outside Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School. Destiny, what's the latest?
Well, we just got these court documents today. They're only recently released after this final decision came down last week. In these documents, they say that Taekwon General Jr. killed his classmate here at Southeast Raleigh High School back in November. At the time, he was just 14 years old.
A teenage boy shown in the midst of this high school brawl back in November will be viewed as an adult in the eyes of the court, facing murder and assault charges. That's according to these newly released court documents obtained by WRAL.
And any time that you have, young people that are engaged in levels of violence that rise to the level of, murder, certainly, that is in and of itself concerning.
Video shows Taekwon General Jr. swinging the knife, hitting two students. Family members say one of those students was 15-year-old Devin Farrell. He died from his injuries.
When you have someone who's been charged with something such as murder, for them to be able to face any kind of sentence that is appropriate for a murder charge, often those cases need to be transferred to Superior Court.
Despite an appeal from General's family back in March, just last week a Superior Court judge decided to uphold that decision. District Attorney Lauren Freeman says this is standard in these cases.
For 15-year-olds, it is an automatic transfer if there's probable cause found for first-degree murder.
So what happens next? General will need to request an arraignment date, or the court will enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. Freeman says his case will be added to the list of homicide cases her office will prosecute.
Freeman says that it takes about 2 years for homicide cases to go to trial. Destiny Patterson, WRAL News, Raleigh.
So that's the news' take on whatever happened allegedly. We don't know. We can look at the video and we can all speculate, but we don't know the truth until the truth comes to the light. So I just felt like this was the case that needed to be brought to the light, and we needed to discuss, since we've been just drowning out so long the Austin Metcalf and the Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf case. So there has to be a backstory to this. I'm pretty sure that it just didn't arise out of nowhere. We don't know if the young man had been bullied. We don't know what he went through. We don't know, was there any other encounters. So hopefully, hey Asia baby, hey Bold, hey everybody, hey Miss Val. Hopefully, the godmother will come up and share the story of what happened. We can get to the bottom of what actually happened. I do feel as though if the child reported this incident to the teacher, it was the teacher's responsibility, and the teacher should be charged, or her license should be taken for negligence of some sort if this child told you that he was being bullied and things were happening and you continued to send him to class alone. So the general family is here. Were you able to get the live shared out to Taquan's godmother? Okay. Hold on. But, oh, my bad. Hold on. Hold on. Also, they're in need of help for, avocation. Everyone is charging so highly. But we're waiting. Like I said, I did start late, so let's give them a chance. Thank you so much. You guys can go check it out. I don't know if you heard a news clip, but I did share what I could on my page, what was available to me. So the general family is Taquan's godmother here. Was she able to make it?
What do you got there, Larry?
Let's see. Let's give them a minute because I was late. I'm so sorry. I was trying to do my TikTok studio and it just took so long to start. Let's listen to this other news clip about it. And if you guys could tap the screen so we can save the live while we get them a chance to get in. The godmother was saying that she was on a page that only had like 40 followers. She was new to TikTok, so we're gonna give her a minute. I might need to send her over some credentials so she can come up in the backup page or something like that. But the mother did not want to say anything because she didn't want to incriminate her son or make anything any harder, but she did feel like this was a good way to go ahead and get her son's story exposed. So the general family, were you able to get your son's godmom the live?
School students, staff, and families will be taking the time to process an unthinkable incident. There's a stabbing that happened less than 24 hours ago. One student is dead. Another is in the hospital. A third is charged with murder. WRL's Kelsey Coffey is live outside the school this morning. Kelsey, school leaders are offering resources to students who feel they need support after what happened there.
Jeff, grief counseling will be available for students here at Southeast Raleigh High School after that tragic day. Take a look at this video that was sent to WRAL of the incident. It shows dozens of students in a hallway. You can see one student throwing a punch. We're stopped. Student in the red hoodie pulls out a knife. The fight then spills into the gym where more students get involved. We pause the video again when the student in the red hoodie starts swinging the knife. Sherelle McLaughlin says who had the knife, he's now charged with murder. She claims he was bullied at school before this incident.
And I called the school and I informed them of that morning because I told them that something may happen. I don't know.
And we're working to find out the names of the student who was killed and the student who was injured. And coming up in the next half hour, you'll hear from a mother of a student who goes here, and she says she's afraid to send her daughter to school.
I sent you an invite, Lauren.
Live in Raleigh.
And I'm just playing these clips so the people can get a little backstory of what's going on. I played several. They all sound like they're leaning towards one way. They don't seem like they're advocating for everyone who was involved. However, we'll take a deeper dive and see. Lauren, so when I send the invite, I think it's gonna say that I invited you and you just accept the invite. She's new to TikTok, so y'all bear with her. And I feel like the justice system just is not just for certain people. You know, I'm pretty sure everyone feels that way, but we don't get the correct advocation when it comes down to us. For real, for real. Do she got it? Hold on, let me text her. Let's give her some time. But anyway, from what you guys have seen, if you have taken a chance to go look and see what the video consisted of, do you guys think that whatever it was self-defense? Because in my opinion, from what I saw, hell, it ain't no telling what. I mean, it's just so much policing of children's responses. That's crazy. I don't understand. First of all, why are they even in that type of danger, and why can't they go to teachers and people, and let them know what's going on with them? And if they did, why the hell didn't the teacher do anything? Like, we send our kids to school with y'all every day. Y'all supposed to make sure y'all paying attention to our kids and advocating for them, making sure that they're safe, especially when going to and from class. So I'm gonna send it again. Let's see. When I press it, just wait. Like, it's gonna be a pink thing that's gonna say accept, and then it's gonna be a thing on the left that's gonna say decline. So wait till your phone register that you getting the request, and then try to accept it. Just give us a minute. And his mother does not want to say anything that's going to incriminate her son, so that's why we're waiting till the godmom can come up and speak. If that's okay with y'all. Say they waited 8 months before her son can get a bond for defending himself. And if I'm not mistaken, all the children will be okay. Is it working for you, love? What is it saying when you try to accept? Oh, wait a minute. It might be because you might not have your age verified. So, I don't know, though. I don't know. I don't know what it could be. Let's see if the mom can come up and then I can drop her. Let's see if it worked for her. Let's see. Oh, Lord, we having some technical difficulties. What's going on, my dear? Will it allow you up? Jesus. Do I need to restart? Okay. So it let you up. Hey, sister. How are you? Good. How you doing? Thank you for having me up here. Hey, Libra. Yes, you're welcome. So, can you try to walk her through accepting? Walk her through putting in a request. Maybe that might work.
You think it's because it's the amount of followers?
No, because it wouldn't have the button available if you weren't able to join the box.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So can anybody instruct her on how to request up in the box? Because it should say send guest request. The little pink and blue person, you'll click that person, and then you'll try to come up, and then I can accept it instead of me sending you a request, since it won't work that way.
And she can't just tap the box? Like, I just tapped the
Yeah,
box.
tap the box, and just press the plus sign on the box, and I can accept you up.
Okay.
I can't believe it. Mm-hmm. Who is Richard Dunn? Hey, Richard, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. What exactly would you like to add to the conversation?
I'm not sure what the conversation is, hon.
Right now, we're trying to assist someone to come up in the box.
Trying to see what?
We're trying to assist someone coming up in the box so that they can tell the story.
What story?
Well, I'll speak a little bit on it. Again, I can't say too much because it's still an ongoing case. Um, it's just I'm trying to get it,
Do you
out
want
there
me
a
to
little
drop
bit.
Richard, or is he okay?
He's okay. It's
Okay.
fine. Whatever I want, answer. I just can't answer. But yeah, I just wanted to, cause it's with the situation that just happened with the Carmelo Anthony. It just brought out a lot of other people and comments and things like that in my son's situation because it's very similar. And I was saying, like, when it came to that situation, I do think that a lot of people made it about race when I just think that it's
You're talking about the black kid killing the white kid, right?
and I'm talking about that as well as the situation with my son, which is up on the screen here, because he was in a very similar situation. He was 14 and he was defending himself and attack on him at school. And unfortunately, a young man in that situation was unalived. And he's being charged with first degree murder. Schmurder, excuse me. He is being charged as an adult, and he had a $500,000 bond on top of house arrest. He was locked up for 8 months before he would even receive the bond. So yeah, I'm just trying to put, get it out there. It's on video. You know what I mean? It's on video. So the proof is in the pudding. All you have to do is Google his name. It shows some of the video, which as clear as day, he's defending himself. He's retreating. He's, doing everything that he can to try to avoid the situation. You know what I mean? People say, you know, in some situations, why didn't that kid run, or why didn't that kid do this, or why didn't that kid do that? We don't really know what a kid is feeling when they're in that situation. You know what I mean? We don't know what's going through their minds. And again, we're talking about kids. We're not talking about adults. You know what I mean? We're talking about 14, 15, 16-year-old kids. And
So I'm sorry to cut you off, but I do want to know, like you were saying, that it took 8 months for him to get a bond. That was like an injustice. So is it typical for someone to have a bond that high in your area?
I think for that situation, yeah, it's typical to have a bond that high. And well, in certain situations, you know what I mean, because in this situation, it's just right, it's just too high for the situation, you know, for the evidence in the situation. Like we do understand that, you know, someone was unalived in that situation, but with the evidence that's out there, you wouldn't think that the bond would be that high. You know what I mean? The just the fact of the video itself, just
When the judge first saw the video when he first was arrested was released.
the fact of the video being out there and what you can see of the video, it should say enough.
Okay, so do either of you care to tell like what led up to this happening to him? Like why did he feel the need to defend himself? What went on? Like do you want to share any of the backstory?
Oh, Lauren, you're on. I'm gonna let you go ahead and take over. I'm gonna drop. Excuse me. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna let you go ahead and take care of it. Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay. This all started years ago. Everything has all been documented. His sister, you know, was getting jumped on numerous times anywhere she went. They came to jump on her they came to her grandmother's house, but she wasn't there. And it must have been about 25 kids. And they attacked his grandmother, his mother, his sister, and his god sister. And he was just trying to defend them and trying to get these boys and girls to stop jumping the women in his family. And some of the girls lied and went back and said that he hit them. So that's where all of this stemmed from, him getting jumped at school.
So, okay, so before he got jumped at school, excuse me, his grandmother excuse me, his grandmother excuse me. His grandmother and his sister and his mother were being attacked, correct?
Yes.
By how many people? And do you mind if anybody comes up to ask you questions, or you just want to stay in the box alone?
No, it doesn't matter to me, but there's probably, how many would you say, Cheryl? 20, 25?
In
It had
my
to been,
notes, I think I put 20. So
it's,
you said around 20 or
it was
25
multiple
people showed up
cars.
too.
Like, it was on people's ring cameras. Like, the cars were parked down the street. Like, they literally arrived in a mob to the grandmother's house and attacked the whole family.
What?
That's what this all stems from.
So hey TTT, we're interviewing the godmother of Taquan General Jr. and what happened to him. He was a teenager that is being accused of unaliving at a Southeast Raleigh high school in November of what year was that, Miss Lauren?
Was it 2023?
Wow. So we're trying to get more of the backstory. So what relation, how did the victim correlate into this again?
I'm sorry.
What part did the victim play in this once again? Like what was his role?
You talking about Taekwon?
No, the boy who was unalived.
He was the boyfriend of one of the girls that claimed that Junior hit her, and she wasn't even actually present at the jumping. Um, she told a story and basically amped up her boyfriend and his friends to jump Taekwon. And he
Okay,
was the
so
so
was there any police reports in between this? Like any reports of anything going on with these individuals?
multiple,
Oh
multiple,
wow.
too many to count.
And Taekwon reported to his teacher, correct?
Yes, he definitely was receiving death threats for
Unalive
weeks.
threats.
I'm sorry, yes,
It's
unalive
okay. I
threats
know you're new
for
to
weeks.
TikTok. We just don't want to get taken down. And it's
I hear
okay.
you.
Take your time. Let me know if I'm going too fast. I'm just trying to make sure everybody has a whiff of what's going on before we just start asking questions. And, people come in at the end of things. And I want to make sure that there's no rhetorical questions being asked or, no one is antagonizing anyone. So, he was protecting his family from being jumped by 25 or 20, between 20 and 25 students or people, and police reports were giving, well, you guys had police reports of the encounters between the group of people and Taekwon, correct?
Yes,
And the bond was high, but it took 8 months for him to get a bond, and he endured some things while he was being held, correct?
yes, they definitely manhandled him and interrogated him under duress for over 8 hours. Mm.
So, is there any other incidents in the area that you're in where the authorities have mishandled people in their custody or minors, especially at this point? He was just 14, correct?
Yes, yes. I've never known the police to be 100% uh, above board, especially when they're trying to get answers that they want to hear.
Hmm. So, when Taekwon reported this to the teacher, is there no point of safety that the teachers have to hold for the students in that area? Like, if they feel threatened, were they not supposed to like escort somebody or go speak to someone else? Maybe this wouldn't have happened, or
I mean, you would think so. You would think that when you go tell an adult, that you're scared for your life, that they wouldn't just send you on your way. You would think that, they would try to protect you in some way. I'm sure this woman feels some type of culpability because she could have saved the day. She could have prevented all this from happening. I mean, he was scared for his life. He hadn't been to school 10 days before this. He had been getting death threats.
Well, just to add a little bit, I'm in Virginia here, and I had a friend who had her boyfriend, basically her ex kept popping up, showing up. She was trying to be done with him and all that stuff, and so she called the authorities. So they pulled up and they say to her, "Man, we are a reactive. Uh, we react. We can't do anything before something is done." You know what I'm saying? And that kind of like threw me off. I'm like, what? So you saying he got to actually attack her for y'all to actually really take it serious and go after him? You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of them, that's how they move. It's like, even you warn them, they don't take that serious. It's like they don't take that serious. It's like they don't get involved until something's already happened.
I agree. I agree. And it's sad because I know that they don't get paid enough, but in all honesty, if you're a parent and some child don't get paid enough, but in all honesty, if you're a parent and some child comes to you and tells you that they're scared, I mean, your instinct should kick in to try to protect this child. That's just me. But unfortunately,
The thing is bullies come in all shapes, forms, and fashions. Our children should be able to go to school each and every day, bully free, not afraid, knowing exactly what will happen to them, knowing that they will go home, knowing that they will be in the same amount of pieces that they left in, because they know not to bully people. It's just sad that we don't advocate enough for our children. And then when they defend themselves, they get all of these extensive charges. And it's just like, it's crazy.
yeah,
And the thing
it's
is in
not.
the news clip, the family of the child that passed away said that they are forgiving. However, this family has had 3 GoFundMe removed because of the comments that the family of the victim allegedly left on their GoFundMe. And that's just evil, in my opinion. And I just don't understand why this case wasn't, a really big highlight everywhere, like this Austin Metcalf thing. Like, it's bullies all over. But how are children supposed to protect themselves? I thought we had a right to, at least a obtainable bond and things of that nature. Why is this baby's bond that high? It ain't like he flight risk.
Exactly.
Hello,
He's never
everyone.
had any
Hey,
altercation with the police before this.
say
I'm
what?
sorry.
He was never known to ever be in trouble. He's a peacemaker. He's a good child, good student. He's a protector in his family. Quiet, soft spoken. Like he's just not known to be an instigator of any sort.
Is this another case? I'm sorry,
It
I'm just
is.
joining. Is this new? Something?
No, this happened November of 2023.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, they've held him for over 8 months. He had his 15th birthday incarcerated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I feel like his right to a speedy trial has been completely overlooked.
If you don't mind, can you tell me just a little bit of the story?
He, in essence, was protecting his family
Okay.
from being attacked by a mob of teenagers and young adults. It was probably about 20 to
Mm,
25
mm.
people. Were looking for his older sister, but she wasn't there. So the rest of the family sufficed. And they literally jumped the grandmother, the mother, the daughter, and my daughter. My daughter was there. His god sister was there.
Oh, my God. I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, my God.
So him defending, the women in his family, one of the girls went back and claimed that he hit her. And that's where it all stemmed from. It's a story that she told and told her boyfriend. So her boyfriend, in some false sense of valor, was trying to attack him with all of his friends. So, and it's very evident that it was premeditated because the girl was videotaping the entire thing, like before it even happened. Like she knew to start filming.
Wow.
I mean, this is all very black and white. It's very plain. It's very easy to see. There's at least 3 different documented angles of the entire incident. I don't even understand what the question is. It's very clear to see what happened.
So they didn't broadcast this like they broadcast everything else.
Of course not, because they're trying to push this under the rug because their level of ineptitude is like astounding.
Wow.
I'm not
That's
sure.
Putting a spotlight on this is just putting a spotlight on themselves.
Right. And look,
That's
I'm
why
not
I
sure if
feel
y'all
he has
heard,
the
but
representation.
I was just was heard someone saw a report on. They said that the police unalived some BLK man just today in Atlanta. I didn't
I
get a lot of,
saw that.
yeah, I didn't get a lot of details on that, but I'm like, yo, it just makes my antennas go up. Yeah.
You have to understand that the media is all controlled by like two different people. So it's like we don't get anything in the mainstream media that's actually accurate. They're never going to tell you what's actually going on. They tell you what they want you to hear.
They only broadcast certain things.
Exactly. It's very picked over, and you're going to hear the same thing everywhere
Yep.
because they're all owned by the same two billionaires.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it's like the way that the comments that I've received, and I've gotten a lot of comments from the videos that I've been posting, and the stuff that you hear some of these, YT people have been saying is like if he doesn't, if Carmelo Anthony, if he doesn't go to jail, somebody's gonna, some such and such when he's out on the street. I mean, all kind of stuff. So I just hope that everybody is just being that much more careful and aware because I feel like there's, a lot of those type of people that's, really going to try to attack, in different ways. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be TikTok friendly, but I feel like we all need to be careful and be aware because, they're starting to come out the woodworks and really show their true colors. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
speaking of which, it's
Okay.
like, the family reached out to Ben Crump and the team didn't handle them accordingly. It's like these people advocate for whatever is bringing them lots and lots of money or what's really good. So, do you want to speak about how it's been, how hard it's been to find some help when it comes down to your godson's case?
Did you say Ben
It's,
Crump didn't want a part of that?
I think that it was a representative of his,
Oh
and
wow.
he wasn't too keen to really pick it up like in a real way. He was just looking for publicity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Trying to find a decent lawyer that is actually going to attack RPD and the Wake County public school system is like it's next to impossible because the litigation that really needs to happen at this point is like they really need to open up a case against them right now because I mean it's just egregious how his rights are being trampled and how he just has no due process. Like this is a child
Mm-hmm.
that turned 15 in juvenile detention. Had his 15th birthday.
Wow. I don't know if you all like I live in Maryland, from DC. I don't know if you all heard it probably happened maybe 15 years ago where the lady was working in T-Mobile in Clinton and her husband came and threw what do you call it? Lighter fluid on her and burnt her up. She was all over Oprah. She was
I
on.
saw that. She
I'm
worked in
sorry.
the subway, didn't she?
No, she worked at T. She was the manager at T-Mobile.
Oh, T-Mobile? Okay. That's a different
Yes,
story.
yes, and she was on Oprah. She was on a lot of shows, and I talked to her periodically, and she said, and the only reason why I'm saying this is because of what you just said about the politicians. She told me, she said, yeah, she said they will use you till they can't use you anymore. A lot of the money that people were sending to her, she wasn't getting. Once she said because she never, I think she said something about her rights or something like that. I forgot what she said. Oh my God, I forgot what she said. But yeah, so what you're saying, how certain politicians want to take certain cases, if they feel like there's no money in it for them, they're not gonna take it.
Yeah, and so the mother wants to know, what do we consider self-defense? And my thing is this: if he reported this to the teacher, he reported it, they got 911 reports or whatever. To be honest, they're saying that they only will take the case for $100,000 to $300,000. Maybe it's some footwork that can be done, and you guys can take a portfolio when you guys go to people. Has anyone offered you guys maybe a retainer, like do something more easy or more obtainable than $100,000? Because that's just way too much. That makes no sense.
Or to bring awareness, what about, I'm not sure if you said this, but going to your local news station, you know what I'm saying? See if they'll do a story for you, or like, if you're
You sound like you're in a fishbowl.
for me.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, that's better.
Okay. Maybe you can go to your local news station. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you know somebody who might know somebody there. I know a lot of stories get off the ground by, word of mouth and just like reaching out if you have a good story. So try your area and surrounding areas.
So what I need y'all to do is go to the video and share the video so that we can bring awareness. Just like we've been advocating for Austin Metcalf, let's advocate for Taekwon General Jr. because it's not fair that he's being tried as an adult. Like, that's just crazy, charged as an adult when it's self-defense. If he was being jumped by 5 children, like, at what point is it not excessive jumping? You feel me? And what about these teachers? Are they going to be charged? Are they going to be reprimanded for allowing this to happen?
Yeah, unfortunately, unless they get some kind of strong defense, this is going to try to be pushed through the cracks. They don't care. They're really trying to hide their culpability in this, because I'm telling you, Raleigh has dropped the entire ball. The Wake County public school system, his mother had called the school and told them and warned them, like, my son has been getting threatened. His life is getting threatened. They didn't take it seriously. She begged the school not for him not to be transferred to that school. She knew that at that school, it was the family that been jumping her daughter. And they still put him in that school. And he didn't have any friends in that school. He didn't know anybody. So, you're all by yourself. And the teacher doesn't help you.
So it's a 1 minute and 47 news clip. It says that it was published on Thursday, March 6th. So let's see what type of verbiage they use on this news clip. Maybe we can get a little bit more clarity of what we haven't already asked. So maybe the people that's listening can get a little bit of what's actually going on before we move forward.
You gonna play it?
Yeah.
Was charged in Delvin Farrell's death was originally had his case moved to adult court in mid-2024 and was being held without bond on capital murder charges. Now, those documents that we uncovered tonight show that General Jr. has hired several different lawyers over the course of the last year and a half or so, please. And that I should say motion to have his bond reset, which has ultimately led to him being released on bond. Tonight, new court documents obtained by Eyewitness News providing...
Okay, before I finish, so I got to make sure that I say this. This is for entertainment purposes only so that we do not get clipped, because they're saying a lot of things that cannot be said. However, this is a part of the family story, and this is an open space, so we're holding this space so we can get an understanding of what's going on, and we can go ahead and start hashtagging justice for Taekwon General Jr. because he needs justice. He needs to be able to obtain lawyers and help and advocation and things of that nature.
Absolutely.
An important update in the fatal stabbing of a student at Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School in 2023. The fight in the high school all caught on video. Taekwon General Jr., who was 14 when prosecutors allege he stabbed fellow student 15-year-old Delvin Farrell, was first indicted on first-degree murder charges in adult court in May of 2024 and was held without bond. The court records show in August of that year, General's lawyer at the time, Jonathan Trapp, motioned to have bond reduced to $100,000 and that General had been moved to the Pitt County Juvenile Detention Center. Wake County court records show 1 month later in September, The court approved a $500,000 bond, requiring General to provide DNA and fingerprint samples and have no contact with witnesses or victims in the case. Just 2 weeks ago, on February 19th, a Pitt County bond company posted the $500,000 bond, allowing General to go free pending trial. Just yesterday, his new lawyer, Daniel Meyer, filed a motion for discovery in the case, asking for any and all evidence the state intends to present at a future trial. No trial date is listed online. And Steve, Lauren, we have reached out to Daniel Meyer and the families, both of Taekwon General and Delvin Farrell. So far, we have not heard back.
So
Agreed.
that's that. That's the update that they have on the news right now.
Wow.
And that came out on March the 6th, 2025. So let's see what else we can find online.
Mhm.
It's just, I feel like they should have added. I feel like when it comes down to students and children, to be honest, I don't even feel like their name should be disclosed. I thought it was illegal to disclose the name of a juvenile, for one. For
Yes, that's
two,
what it's
I
supposed to
thought,
be.
They pick and choose.
yes, thank you
Hmm.
so much. For two, I think that he has the right to a just and a speedy trial. I feel like his bond should have never been that high. I feel like he wasn't protected. She said, oh, he was all over the news. Yes, and his mother's name was on there. You know, they released a lot of things, and they also cut her off while she was being interviewed, because you guys know that I'm going to go and research, but I didn't actually look at this clip until right now. So when I looked at it, they kind of had her still talking, but they muted her and continued on talking. And I feel like that was disrespectful. If you're going to get someone to have a story, then get it. And, you know, that's kind of what they get. If I were you guys, I would reach out and go ahead and give them a good and a just statement. I would go, since they're saying of March, they haven't heard from us. I would, you know, get someone to go speak. And I wouldn't speak on what happened. I would speak about how unjustly he's been treated and how he wasn't properly advocated for.
I agree. It's just the lawyers are telling, every lawyer has told them not to go make any statements, not to go, not to say too much, not to, they get differing opinions on how to proceed.
So do the NAACP pick and choose with cases, or Al Sharpton, or like the other attorney, what's his name? Ben Croft. Do they pick and choose what cases they want to be in?
Yeah.
Crazy. And that's what the girl was telling me. Like I just told y'all about the T-Mobile, how he did. They pick and choose. And then once they pick and choose, once they made enough money off of it, they'll back off. Because
Oh,
her ex-husband, is about to get out of jail.
yeah.
So we're gonna see what the North Carolina Beat has to say about it. I haven't heard this either, but this is what I get when I pull it up. And the only way that we're gonna get exposure is if we, frequent these spaces and we talk about it and we get the story out there. Now, if your guys' lawyer, you already got a lawyer and they've told you what to do and what to not do, I would follow that legal advice. And like I said, feel free to state that you don't want to answer any questions that are being asked. So let's see what he has to say.
Okay.
It just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. Oh, wait till a couple of y'all come on in on tonight. We back again. Y'all, we back again.
So he ain't no news source, so let's see.
At 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all remember I was telling y'all, I just did a story that Taekwon General Jr. mom was arrested today. Okay?
Oh my God.
Her charges
That
are
is
related.
so weird. People are weird as fuck. I thought he was about to talk about the case.
Wow.
So But it also said it might. Okay, so it says who has been charged with unaliving for the unaliving stabbing for a fellow student in the Southwest. The unaliving stabbing for a fellow student in the Southwest High School on Monday physically assaulted their. Oh yeah, nah, I don't know what the hell. That's crazy. That's some bullshit. I thought he was really about to say some shit that really mattered. He lame as fuck for that.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is neither here nor there. And you know what? If I was y'all, I'd go report that shit. I'll go report it so they'll have to take that shit down.
Yeah.
Like, if you gonna advocate, you need to get the algorithm the correct way. You got to make sure that you posting the right videos and shit like that. And when people put shit out like that, that shit is slander. Because if you cover the case, well, really defamation. If you cover the case, you should be advocating for Taekwon Jones General. I mean, Taekwon General Jr. Why are you speaking about other things and other endeavors? That nigga is weird as hell. That's crazy. But
he did it for views, probably.
The thing is, what difference does that make? How do we know what that family is really going through? Why are they not going to the family asking them, well, was your student bullied? If we see what's going on with Austin Metcalf, that should be an alert or a red flag. Let's go back and revisit all of these cases and see what's really going on with them. Let's see, are these children really getting the application that they need in the schools? If 911 is really responding to certain areas or doing things only in certain areas and disregarding other things. Like, that's a community issue, and that's when people need to go out and they need to stand and they need to,
protest.
Yeah, actually peacefully protest. Because at this point, the family is saying one thing. The family of the student, Devin Farrell, is saying we are forgiving. Family of 15-year-old poked to unaliving at the high school grieves loss holds no ill will. If you
they still giving out death threats to everybody. Like, that is not
right.
That's not even accurate. Like, to this day, my son can't even go get any type of job, any kind of visible job. Anytime he works anywhere and they recognize him, he literally, they're driving around waiting for him to get off.
Can I ask?
Like, this is not over.
And this was posted November the 28th, 2023. So if there was no ill will, that's what I'm saying. That should be a part of your portfolio. And then, Miss Laura, I'm going to let you go after I read the mom's comments out loud. But it's like, that should be a part of the portfolio. They're still giving out threats. They've told you that they forgive. However, they're getting the GoFundMe for the lawyer fees taken down. And you got to go to another platform that's not so known. So she says all charges were dismissed when they seen that the kids came to my house. Police report says, but me and my family are still being threatened. My daughter was jumped again and forced to give birth early.
Yes, she was pregnant. She was 7 months pregnant. Yes, baby. Yes, had to be put in NICU. It was horrible. Like, the family is not forgiving, and the family is still attacking them. So
color on color.
All of this was black on black, or no?
That's why we don't hear. Okay, that's why we didn't hear about it. It explains everything. Okay, thank you.
It's the selective outrage.
That's what pisses me off.
It's being
to be honest, the person who did that, who let that Facebook video out, they got to be, a part of the riot. Like, I would have all of that investigated. Like, who the hell is dude that's trying to push this different rhetoric on what's really going on?
Absolutely.
What's really going on?
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Absolutely.
And after this, I'm definitely going to do some more research of my own, and I'm definitely going to post a video to my platform. Do every little thing that I can to get some kind of attention, to this matter, because I feel like if he went to the proper staff and teachers for help, and they didn't help him, and they turned a blind eye, and then it escalated to this, then it sounds like something.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Right. And y'all, we got to make that hashtag. We got to really make that hashtag jump. You got to make sure you're posting content on a daily, every day. You might get tired of posting content, but you got to make sure you get this pushed out there, because he is just as important as Austin Metcalf. He is just as important as Devin Farrell, because unfortunately Devin Farrell must have been a bully. You got to go on YouTube and look at the videos, whatever it is that is available, and see exactly what's going on here, because there's no way a child that is a good child, hasn't been in any trouble before, is just going to burst out of nowhere doing that. But the fact of the matter that it was more than 5 children. Second incident, when the first incident was 20 plus young adults and children, that's weird. That gives bully to me.
Wait a minute, Desi. You said Austin Metcalf. Do you mean Carmelo?
No, I meant Austin Metcalf, because he was a bully.
Oh,
Austin Metcalf was a bully,
okay,
just
okay.
like Devin
Gotcha,
Farrell. Rest in
gotcha.
peace.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, the bully.
The
Okay.
churn was bullying the churn. They was trying to bully the folks, and it really sounded like they was trying to run them out the neighborhood or something. And somebody got some connect with the police. Like, it's deeper than just what we're saying right now. This is like a bully type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is like a hood type thing. Like, yeah, I'm not from there, but it sounded like they trying to run y'all like the hood type shit, and it's crazy. Like, it don't even have to be no hood area, but it can be
No, it's
classified as their
honestly,
stomping
yeah, they're
ground.
terrorizing them for years. Like anytime his sister would go live, anytime she would put her location, they would literally pull up
Wow.
5, 6 girls and jump her. I can't tell you how many fights this girl has been in. Most of them are on camera. Most of them been posted.
But see,
It's just it's
but see,
it's insane.
it's crazy because they will use the bully for YT, but when it comes to people of color, we're YT, but when it comes to people of color, we're aggressive. We're, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Well, it's like you said, it's the black go black crime. They don't care.
Exactly.
And that's why it's not publicized.
Exactly.
I mean, if they publicize this case, it would literally have to come out in discovery their gross ineptitude, like the negligence, the mishandling of this entire situation for years, them turning a blind eye, not doing their job.
I wonder, have you reached out to like any activists, like Carmelo Anthony and some family? Have they reached out to any activists who's willing to stand with them and try to get the justice? You know, that he deserves.
I need a list of resources on how to get in touch with Carmelo Anthony. I definitely forward him an email.
Yeah, definitely. Reach out to like, I mean, you could start with the activist, and he's a pastor. He's what is it? One Generation, or I don't want to watch the name, but it's an organization where they're like he's an activist and he fights, you know, for BLK people and stuff like that. So if you hear of any in the area, and that's willing to take on that case, yeah, reach out. Definitely do that.
Did you say Ben Crump? Did you reach out? You did say Ben Crump. Did you reach out to him?
Yeah, that's his name. I couldn't remember his name at the time, but yeah, like him, any of the activists, you know. I feel like, you know, 25 people. That's a mob, you know. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've tried to email him, you know, the email that's, you know, associated with him, but it just gets returned. So,
Okay, so I don't know if you have anything to write down, but I'm a very good researcher. So I'm looking at civil rights, social actions, advocacy in Raleigh, and there's True Ridge, there's Middle East Refugee Aid, there's North Carolina Black Alliance. Have you reached out to that? They work towards state level systematic change by strengthening the network of elected officials representing communities of color throughout the state and collaborating with progressive grassroots networks on intersecting issues. These issues range from voting rights, gerrymandering, criminal justice reform, health and wellness, economic to education. And again, that's the North Carolina Black Alliance.
Does it say they deal with civil or anything
See, the thing is
criminal?
criminal justice reform. That's all you need to
Okay.
hear right now. Criminal justice reform.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's the key point right there. If they can't help you, they'll send you in the right direction. But the fact of the matter that they said criminal justice reform, economic development to education, is it like the school is in a economic decline? The reason, are they not able to pay the teachers enough to make them bitches care about what the children telling them? The criminal justice system did your godson unjustly by giving him that extremely high bond, and he's not flight risk at 14 years old. And he's not getting the right. His rights are being he's being write it down and call the folks.
I did. Thank you.
All right, that's all I can say. Let's see. Could his bond have been that high at 14 years old due to him being black, even though it was a black on black crime? Was it not, was it overlooked and stuff? It's a Spirit House South Incorporated. They they assist with transformation that repairs the lasting impact of systematic racism. They might be able to get him some help in some other areas, because having to be on house arrest, like, it's just crazy. The school was supposed to do something. I would be trying to speak to the Board of Education. I'll be suing all of their asses.
That's my point. Like, if they could just get a real lawyer would sue them immediately.
So why is the news giving out that false information about the lawyer? Like, they're saying that the lawyer is making all of these motions. Are you guys trying to get a new lawyer, or that's not the current lawyer? What about that?
Definitely trying to get a new lawyer.
Okay. So, do you guys have any more questions?
I just know I used to live in Brunswick, Georgia, and I had moved there from VA. Stayed there with my friend for about a year, and in this community, it was like certain areas. It was like the people were real close knit. So if you got into it with one of them, you basically beefing with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, that's my grandson in the background. But you basically beefing with everybody. So I do understand that type of yeah.
Yes.
And I got into it because the late my neighbor, we started off cool, you know how that go, and over time she started trying to take advantage of me because I had a car, and around there, a lot of people didn't have transportation, so I would give rides and stuff like that. So next thing you know, she expects me to do this and all of that. So when I push back, now she got problems with me. You see what I'm saying? I ended up having to, get into an altercation with her and everything, and then from there, it was like, now I got to deal with her daughter, her son, the neighbor up the block, around the corner, people I don't even know, and it's just me.
It's that mob mentality.
Yeah, absolutely. So I get and I really understand how it could be. And then it's like the people, it's like even the people who know that it's wrong, they don't want to stand out because they'll start being attacked as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Another one is the WNC.org. They got calling for change. You might want to write that down. WUNC. It's the North Carolina Public Radio, and they have a call for change, and that may be able to get your voices out and your voices heard about what exactly it is that you want to be heard about. And you guys don't technically have to talk about the case. You can just advocate for all of these things and all of these areas where they're lacking and they're mistreating and mishandling our youth in North Carolina and not giving them the right to fair representation. And when we do that, you'll technically force these people to have to do the right thing, because you'll be bringing the light to what they're not doing. Like, you can leave it up to your lawyers, whatever you have, what may, but that doesn't stop you from creating a mutual environment when it comes down to the way that he's going to be handled, the way that the jury is going to be picked, and things of that nature. It's a lot of things. And when you are working with legal aid and legal representation, I'm not going to say that I'm a lawyer or anything, but they do work for the government, if I'm not mistaken. So there's an objective there always, in my opinion.
Yep.
So, like I said, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm going to go ahead and bring this segment to a close. I appreciate you for coming. You guys make sure you follow the General family. Go take a look at their videos. Take a look at my last 2 videos. Share them. Hashtag Justice for Taekwon General Jr. And let's get it out there. Until the next time, I appreciate y'all. Take care. Be blessed.
Don't worry, my
And keep
heart goes
on
out
living.
to you.
You too. Hope
Thank
everything
you.
works out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.